Namaskar everyone. Welcome to the Legionaries. Today, our show is special. This show is very different than the other episodes of our, because today we are going to tell you a story, and the episode will start with a story. So it is early 2020, in the month of February. I was in France and I was in an exhibition called Wine Paris. So it was the second day. So on the first day, as usual, I finished all my meetings. And the second day, I was just, roaming around and trying to see in the exhibition what is happening across the globe. Because Wine Paris is an exhibition where you got participants from across the globe. So suddenly I saw something called a banner, a poster where I can see a brand written Ashanti. I checked the brand again because, being an Indian, when you look at something called Ashanti, you will exactly, not able to understand whether this is name of a brand or, so the curiosity was like, am I seeing the right thing? Then I've been to a long cocktail bar where I can see a bottle of Ashanti and tried a cocktail. Then I asked him that can I see the stall where you can meet the gentleman or meet the company. And they guided me to a stall where I meet for the first time my friend and our guest of today, Sébastien. Hello, Sébastien. Welcome to the Legionaries.
Hello, Malay. Thank you very much to allow me to join you.
Same here, Sébastien. I think you can. I really can see those moments, when we met in 2020, early 2020, and the name Ashanti, it got the same effect in me till date. Rum is the next big thing, and especially when I see a brand like Ashanti from Spain, and then I met you. So I'll be glad to know more about Ashanti from you.
Okay, so thank you, Malay, for this introduction. So it's a interesting story. We need to go back in the past because I'm born in Africa, despite I'm French and based in Spain, and the name Ashanti itself, beside the signification in Indian, it get a clear reference with Africa, and it's the name of a very famous tribe. And when I grew up in Western Africa, I had to. I've been, very close from these people, from Ashanti people. They're originating from Ghana, and we need to put that in relation with something special which is linked with Ashanti. It's a flower, an hibiscus flower, originating from Western Africa, and who travel all over the world. And to explain you the origin of Ashanti, I wanted to pay tribute to this tribe from Africa by associating the name of a rum with the name of the tribe.
The second you will hear about Ashanti, it's about is just the opposite word of peace, and I completely understand that Ashanti belongs to Central Africa, and the Jamaican flower from there, and you got an integral ingredient is the ginger from India and the rum from Guatemala. So how this story happened altogether?
Okay, I've been working over the last 25 years in the wine and spirit industry. Because of my career, I was involved in this business mainly on international markets. And that way, I've been able to travel in Asia in Europe, Africa, South America, and I've been meeting many industry, many players, and all the time you get many brands originating from Western Europe, United States, and it sounds me very interesting to create bridge between continents, which were not really expected. And that's why put in relation the rum from Guatemala, the ginger from India, and hibiscus flower from Africa was making a lot of sense for me.
Ashanti is a tribe also in Central Africa?
Yes, is it a tribe? It's a former empire, one of the most famous. The dynasty there originating in the 13th century, and the very top of the dynasty was in the 18th century, when it started declining by the colonization and the arrival of the British people. But actually, we can say that the tribe remains strong, and still existing a king, Ashanti, actually based in Ghana.
Sébastien, you are a professional yourself. You worked long with Pernod Ricard, and now you are an entrepreneur. So how this journey altogether?
Hey, at the beginning, it's always the same scheme. You never know, you need to learn. And I must tell you that Pernod Ricard was a very nice school. It represents 15 years of my career, and very nice years passed in this group. Following this step, I been incorporating a Spanish company called Caballero Group, and it was another story, another page I've been reading, but I decided to make the jump because of mainly the desire to create something. I believe it's the main drive of the decision to be actor, to create a brand, and to share my experience and my passion with the different countries.
Sébastien, when we met in 2020 February, and today, lot of water flown under the bridge. And one integral thing that happened during this time period is COVID. You know, we never expected this situation to happen, but it happened, and it's still continuing. So how was your experience when you heard COVID for the first time?
Look, it was very, very funny because for everybody, I believe it was an expected situation and totally unknown. If we come back at the very beginning, I believe nobody was expecting what we have been living all this time, and taking decision and react in front of a situation a bit unknown was very complicated. I remember I was coming back from Poland, and the day after it was the lockdown in Spain. So something very straight, very quick, and I just want to highlight that at the very beginning, Spain take measures very strong. We were really locked in our houses during the first 3 months. So it was obviously not easy. Say that. I would like just to add another interesting point, because we were receiving a lot of information from different countries. We were connected with our partners everywhere, and the story was changing from country to another, and we were a bit depending about government, the way they were going to manage the disease, and so on. So once again, it was like a jump in an unknown area.
So how it till date affecting your personal and professional life?
So, hey, I must admit that it was it was an opportunity for me. At the beginning, as everybody, probably I was a bit scared because of an unknown situation. But I was confident in the assets of the company, of the strategy we were following, and to be honest, uh, it has not been so many changes on the daily business because we had from the beginning, as I was explaining, you had external issues that you can't control. So we decided to focus on our assets and internal issues, and the main drive in this situation were the connection and the relationship we had with all our partners.
It's affected the business. It's affected business very badly for few big companies, and it didn't allow any other sector untouched from this COVID situation. So how you managed with your team and with your customer? Because understanding that when you export a lot of brand, then you need to communicate a lot of things. You need to manage your production well, and you need to manage your distributor well. So how you managed all those things during this COVID period?
So you are 100% right, Malay. The first concern in front of an unexpected situation like that, at the first point, you need to get a control about your supply chain first. You must be able to bottle, so that means to control the production, to keep the sales live each time it's possible. And the drive remain, as we said it before, and we're depending about the relationship you had with your partner. So it means to adapt. It means talking a lot with the different countries, and you were jumping from world to another in each country, because all the countries were not suffering or living the same situation. So you had, the main word is to adapt and to secure the supply chain and be able to react and offer the support to your partners. But this is on our side. But on the other side, our partners sometimes had completely different problematic, and so we had once again to find a bridge and to adapt and to find solutions to make it possible.
We import Ashanti in India, and I completely understand the way things been managed by you is really nice. And so, any specific learning out of this situation for business, for personal perspective?
As let's say, the lesson for me, the first one is the key point, I believe, was to not lose the link with the consumer. So we've seen that the digital process and activation around the brand was a key point and very important. I must admit, we're a young company. We are, as I used to say, a work in process with the digital. And it has been, if I can say, like a kick for us to start consolidating these assets. And we are still on the process. We are confident to culminate in September. But this period has been the opportunity to create content, to get a better understanding about the information to treat, to manage the data, structure everything, and to prepare our digital strategy. I would add a second point, if you let me just 1 minute, is it was also the opportunity to structure a bit more our business and to optimize the process. So we decided to invest in CRM to get all the integrated information and be able to react with our customers and production the soonest.
This is really nice. I think you maintained the communication and strategize your business differently, which is really, really nice to know that, Sébastien. Sébastien, our industry, when we talk about communication, I think when we talk about wine and spirits club for that matter, we always, communicate with our end consumer that drink tastefully and enjoy responsibly. Why? Because our industry got a lot of myths. And the next segment of our is all about myth. So we used to know that what is that myth that you bust with your peer group?
Look, I must go back in the past, at the very beginning of my career. I was very impressed and impacted by one figure in particular. And I believe a myth at the beginning appears behind a great personality. Someone who get a vision first, someone who is passionate by his job and his business, with kind of feeling and emotion is able to transmit. And this first man I was impressed was Paul Ricard, the founder of the group Pernod Ricard. And this man used to say, make a friend each day, which is, I believe, a quite interesting words to resume our business. Make a friend each day. And the second person I was very impressed was Bénédicte Hardy from the Cognac Hardy. And she is an amazing personality, able to transmit his strengths, his passion, and is 100% identify with his brand. And for me, there are two examples I'm trying to follow within my career.
Our segment or our industry, we need a lot of awareness. So for an example, for me, if you'll take a personal example, till the time I never see that bottle of Ashanti, or till the time I never tasted that rum, I never knew that Ashanti is a rum. So, awareness is so integral in our industry. So how will you play with awareness in your domestic market as well as for your export market around Ashanti?
Okay. As we said previously, today we agreed that awareness means digital strategy, social media, web, and so on. So, and as I said before, we are still a bit weak at that, but working hard to reach that purpose. But it's that's why it's our key project actually, and we wanted once again to culminate it. But I would add another things. Once again, coming from my old school, Um, I wanted to highlight that probably the awareness is also created on the ground. So I was not traveling as many people for the business, but previously to the COVID, I used to travel 50% of my time at least, and I was spending a lot of time to meet the people, to understand the culture, to understand the countries I was traveling, so that I could preach and explain what was my brand, what was the mixology around, what was the storytelling, the history, and I believe it's a key point. And
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time to share this experience with my partner so that they can also in each country repeat and explain and share this experience with the local customers.
Sebastian, if I'll ask you, what is your personal favorite alcohol?
Interesting, yeah. So there are
Don't tell
lots.
me, don't tell me it is Ashanti.
No, 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 no. Let's be a bit open-minded. Look, Malay, if we're talking about wine, I've been fascinated by Jerez wine, which are amazing, and I do recommend to taste them because it's jumping in a very special world, unexpected. And if we are talking about spirits, I must admit that gin is my favorite.
Okay, good. You know, this particular interview is powered by a brand called Templeton Rye. So it's a rye whiskey from United States. Have you heard about the brand, and what is your experience about this brand?
So I was, to be honest, I get few information about that brand, but I've had the opportunity to taste it and to go a bit deeper in in this brand and its history. And I was really surprised. First of all, the image transmitted by this brand, which is very, how can I say, I was impacted by the lifestyle, the American lifestyle, very open-minded, the space, vegetation, and so on around this brand. And by tasting it, it sounds me some product very smooth, tasty, a bit spicy also, and it was a great discovery. So I really like Templeton for the image that it vehicles and the product itself. It's a very successful product, quality product.
Sebastian, you know, when we travel a lot, we meet several people across the globe. We see different culture, and it enhance our horizon to see the thing from a different perspective, to think in a different direction, and altogether you become a different personality. So, you know, with your experience, we wish to know, according to you, what is the definition of a successful brand?
Okay, so huge question, but probably I'm going to surprise you. An answer probably a bit unexpected, but for me, a successful brand is the brand, the mixed product, who is able to reach the final consumer without any media support. Because when you have for example, blind test as far as the product itself is concerned, or then you put in relation different brands with people that are not familiar with the brand. You get spontaneity. You get the consumer is going to the image and the taste. So it's for me the basis of a successful brand, the brand which is able to reach the consumer, to transmit an invitation, and to transmit emotion. And yes, this would be my definition of a successful brand.
Sébastien, you are also working over and above Ashanti. You are trying to build few more brands. If you don't mind, and if it is not a secret, so if you want to share about that also.
Yes, of course. So, of course, with great pleasure. In my career, I'm spending a lot of time in South America. I've been close of different distillery of there, and I'm fascinated by the rum. So we've created the second brand called La Factoria Libre del Ron, which is in a certain way a new concept, an innovation, which consists in blending rum from different quality, I mean agricole or Molassa rum, different origin, and different age product. So we are arranging a blending between countries like, again, Guatemala, Panama, Dominican Republic, Guadeloupe, or Martinique. And the result is a new range of 4 rums, very unusual, with a taste expected, and which is they are receiving a quite good acceptation from the consumers and the countries. Our first steps are very encouraging. And if you let me a few minutes, I would like to talk about our new creation, because COVID was an opportunity that way. And we've created a range of, we call it the 6 malt collection. And we wanted to create a range under the malt umbrella from Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, Italy, and England. So we are about to launch this range in France, and we are very excited to see how the consumers will respond to this new offer.
The idea behind this talk show to bring positive characters like you. When COVID happened, there was no work, and as you rightly said, you use this time in making your communication better with your trade partners, strategizing better things, and now you said that you also spend time in developing new products. I think this is the theme behind the Legionaries, and why I created this show, so that we can spread this awareness, we can spread this positivity in the trade. Thank you so very much, Sébastien, for sharing your insight, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Malay. It was a pleasure to share that time with you.
And last but not the least, here Ashanti. So in India, we were now saying that have some peace with Ashanti, So the rum is really doing good, and slowly and gradually it is becoming prominent.
I am very happy to hear you and to hear these words about Ashanti. I'm confident with your help, because you are key in this project and this dispositive. So trust me, Malay, I appreciate a lot what you're doing around Ashanti,
Thank you, Sébastien. Thank you so very much, and looking forward to see you in person soon.
Okay, so am I. So am I,
Thank
Malay.
you.
We're excited to work here. Everybody that works at Templeton Rye is excited to say to their friends and to their family that they get to work for Templeton Rye.
It's like a big family. Everybody around here is from the area, so I've kind of known them growing up through the years, which I have to say is probably one of my favorite parts of working here.
The culture has definitely changed. When you go from 10 individuals to more than almost triple, it changes. Yet we're still a very small company.
Every day is different, I have to say, is my favorite thing. And meeting a lot of the different people that come through on tours, because I'm the hospitality manager, so I have my certain things I do, but then I help with production, I help on the buying line, I help do a bunch of different things, so every day is something different. And people that come through on tour, you get to tell them about that and how you get to do all these different things. So it's kind of accumulation of a lot of things, but I'd say those are probably my favorite things about working here.
In small business, when you have just a few people, you tend to wear a lot of hats. So above and beyond just number crunching, you do get pulled into a lot of different areas, from marketing to operations.
You know, we're doing a lot of big things. We have a huge facility, $40 million facility, 3 huge buildings, but we're small enough where it's still like a family environment.
You know, as it relates to benefits and the different products that we can provide for our employees is challenging because, again, you know, we're in a small pool of people, so sometimes the costs associated with those benefits are higher than what it would be if we were in a bigger pool of people and had, you know, over 100 employees, let's say. Templeton Rye chose Wellmark for employee benefits because they give us lots of options. So we've been able to work with our agents and Wellmark so that we can incorporate the costs that we are comfortable with and then the employee sharing in that cost. It's great when you have choices. Let's just say that. Instead of just saying, here's what you have and this is what it is, we get to choose. I do appreciate that. I think it's great. It's good for our company that we have that option.